Welcome, fight fans. Today we're counting down the top 8 UFC battles that ended in injury.
Oh, nice. Oh, no! He hurt his leg!
These unforgettable moments showcase the intense physicality of the sport and the unwavering determination of the fighters. Let's dive in. Number 8. Anderson Silva versus Chris Weidman, UFC 168. Up first, we have the infamous leg break of Anderson Silva during his rematch against Chris Weidman at UFC 168. Silva's leg snapped as he attempted a leg kick, leaving fans and fighters alike in shock. This gruesome injury marked the end of the bout and a long road to recovery for Silva. Many Silva fans credit this moment as the injury that effectively ended the great Anderson Silva's career. Before the leg break, his record in the UFC was 16-1. After the leg break, his record in the UFC was 1-5 with one no contest. Not surprising, this type of leg injury is almost impossible to recover from completely. The Spider would go on to leave the UFC and start boxing professionally. To date, his professional boxing record is 3-2. No surprise, Silva has decided to retire his kicking game. Number 7. Tim Sylvia versus Frank Mir, UFC 48. During the fight between Tim Sylvia and Frank Mir at UFC 48, a brutal arm injury occurred that remains etched in the memories of MMA fans. In the first round of the bout, Mir managed to take Sylvia down to the ground and quickly secured an armbar submission. As Mir applied pressure on Sylvia's right arm, Sylvia refused to tap out, and the force caused his forearm to break. Referee Herb Dean noticed Sylvia's arm break and immediately stopped the fight, despite Sylvia's protests. Mir was declared the winner by technical submission due to the armbar. X-ray images later confirmed that Sylvia's radius bone in his forearm had been broken, validating the referee's decision to stop the fight and protect the fighter from further damage. Tim Sylvia went on to make a full recovery from the injury, fighting again and winning 6 months later in Super Brawl 38 against Wes Sims. Number 6. Jon Jones versus CHAEL Sonnen, UFC 159. At UFC 159, Jon Jones defended his light heavyweight title against CHAEL Sonnen. During the fight, Jones dominated Sonnen with his striking and grappling, eventually winning by TKO in the first round. However, it was later revealed that Jones had suffered a severe toe injury during the fight. The gruesome injury occurred when Jones's left big toe was dislocated and almost completely torn off due to a combination of grappling and pushing off the canvas. The toe bone was exposed and the injury looked very painful. Remarkably, Jones didn't seem to notice the injury until after the fight when he was being interviewed by Joe Rogan. Jones's impressive performance and ability to continue fighting despite the severe injury showcased his toughness and determination. Following the event, Jones received immediate medical attention and underwent surgery to repair the damage to his toe. His recovery went well, and he returned to the octagon to continue his dominant reign in the light heavyweight division. This addition to the list is unusual for 2 reasons. Firstly, because the fight wasn't stopped due to the injury, and secondly, because the fighter who received the injury went on to win the bout. However, due to the gruesome nature of the injury, we felt it was a worthy addition. And how many times do we see an almost severed toe in the octagon? Number 5. Chris Weidman versus URIAH Hall, UFC 261. During UFC 261, Chris Weidman faced URIAH Hall in a middleweight bout that ended in a shocking and unfortunate injury. Only 17 seconds into the first round, Weidman threw a low leg kick, targeting Hall's lead leg. Hall checked the kick, and the impact caused Weidman's shin bone to snap gruesomely. Weidman's leg broke upon contact and folded under his weight as he tried to step back, causing him to collapse in immense pain. The fight was immediately stopped, and Hall was declared the winner by TKO due to injury. Medical personnel rushed to stabilize Weidman's leg, and he was taken out of the octagon on a stretcher. Weidman later underwent emergency surgery to repair his broken leg. The injury was reminiscent of Anderson Silva's leg break against Weidman himself during their fight at UFC 168. Weidman's road to recovery recovery was expected to be lengthy, involving extensive rehabilitation to regain strength and mobility in his leg. Weidman has still not returned to the octagon since his leg break. Number 4. Conor McGregor vs. Dustin Poirier, UFC 264. At UFC 264, Conor McGregor faced Dustin Poirier in a highly anticipated trilogy fight. The two had previously fought twice, with McGregor winning their first encounter and Poirier winning the rematch. During the first round of their third fight, both fighters exchanged strikes and attempted to establish control. McGregor utilized a series of leg kicks throughout the round, but Poirier was able to land effective counterstrikes and control the grappling exchanges. In the closing seconds of the first round, McGregor stepped back to throw a punch and his left leg buckled beneath him. He collapsed to the ground in pain, and it became apparent that he had suffered a serious injury. Upon closer inspection, it was revealed that McGregor had broken his tibia and fibula near the ankle joint. The fight was immediately stopped, and Poirier was declared the winner by TKO due to a doctor's stoppage. McGregor received medical attention inside the octagon and was later taken to the hospital, where he underwent surgery to repair the broken leg. The injury marked a disappointing end to the highly anticipated trilogy fight and set McGregor on a lengthy road to recovery. McGregor is due to make his return to the octagon around September or October 2023 against Michael Chandler. Number 3. Frank Mir vs. Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira, UFC 140. At UFC 140, Frank Mir faced Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira in a heavyweight bout that would go down in MMA history. During the first round, Nogueira managed to hurt Mir with a combination of punches, causing Mir to momentarily lose his balance. Nogueira attempted to capitalize on the situation and tried to secure a guillotine choke on the ground. However, Mir managed to escape the choke and transitioned into an armbar submission on Nogueira's right arm. Nogueira initially refused to tap out, but as Mir continued to apply pressure, the tension caused Nogueira's humerus bone to snap. The referee immediately stepped in and stopped the fight, declaring Mir the winner by technical submission. This arm break is considered one of the most brutal submission victories in UFC history. Nogueira later underwent surgery to repair the broken arm and faced a lengthy recovery process. Number 2. Alistair Overeem vs. Jairzinho Rozenstruik. At UFC on ESPN Overeem vs. Rozenstruik, Alistair Overeem faced Jairzinho Rozenstruik in the main event. The fight was a heavyweight bout that ended with a brutal injury to Overeem. Throughout the fight, Overeem controlled much of the action with his grappling and striking. As the bout entered the final minute of the 5th and final round, Overeem was ahead on the judges' scorecards. However, Rozenstruik launched a powerful right hook that connected with Overeem's face. The impact of the punch was so forceful that it caused a deep, horrifying cut on Overeem's upper lip, splitting it wide open.
The first 3 rounds of the fight.
The injury was severe, and the fight was stopped with just 4 seconds remaining in the final round. Rozenstruik was declared the winner by knockout due to the fight-ending strike. Alistair Overeem's lip injury was one of the most gruesome facial injuries seen in the UFC. He underwent surgery to repair the damage and had to go through a recovery process before he could return to competition. Number 1. Corey Hill vs. Dale Hart, UFC Fight Night 16. At UFC Fight Night 16, Corey Hill faced Dale Hart in a lightweight bout that ended with a horrific leg injury. During the second round of the fight, Hill attempted a leg kick aimed at Hart's lead leg. However, Hart checked the kick, effectively blocking it with his shin. The force of the impact caused Hill's shin bone to snap gruesomely, folding his leg at an unnatural angle as his weight came down on it.
Corey fell down. His leg's broken. His leg's broken. This fight is going to be stopped. Stop the fight. Stop the fight. The fight is all over. Corey Hill.
The sight of the injury was shocking and unsettling, and the fight was immediately stopped by the referee. Corey Hill was provided medical assistance inside the octagon and was subsequently taken to the hospital for further treatment. He underwent surgery to repair the broken leg, followed by an extensive recovery and rehabilitation process. This leg break is considered one of the most graphic and severe leg injuries in the history of the UFC. It serves as a stark reminder of the risks and dangers fighters face place in the world of mixed martial arts and reignited the conversation around protecting the shins of fighters. Many fans believe shin guards should be allowed in the UFC and would greatly reduce this type of injury. Hill spent over a year away from the octagon after the injury, eventually returning for Raging Wolf 6, Mayhem in the Mist. In a bout he won by unanimous decision. Hope you enjoyed our video on these horrific fight-stopping injuries. Did we forget any? Perhaps there are some unique injuries that you believe should have made the list. Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.